Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Poppy Britt, and welcome back to another podcast. If it's your first time here, then welcome, and if you've been here before, then welcome back. It has been a long time since I've seen you guys. Quite frankly, I didn't think that this is how I was going to come back to the podcast. I have been waiting to get my little podcast room together before actually coming back, but I just couldn't sit and be quiet because I just believe that silence is complacency at this point, and I feel so strongly about this topic, and it's something that I have been passionate about for a very, very long time. So I couldn't just sit down and be quiet. Yeah, I'm talking about the election, which a lot of people are very against speaking about politics, or don't think that they matter or whatever it is. And if you're one of those people, I suggest you just click out of this right now. This is a podcast in a space that welcomes everybody, and I've said this many times. I am pro-Black, pro-LGBTQIA, pro-trans people, pro-immigrant, pro-choice. I am for people with disabilities, all of that stuff. This is an inclusive and safe space. There is no space for sexism, racism, any of that stuff. I don't have the energy. You will be blocked. Plain and simple. And before you go and start typing your think piece on the comments or in my DMs, just know that I know where I stand. I know what I believe in, and no amount of discourse or whatever will make me change my mind about voting for Trump. And I get very it's hard to speak on this because I just feel like I have to articulate myself so well, because it's a very sensitive topic. And it's life or death for a lot of people, and it matters a lot. And there's a lot of ignorance and hate that can come from speaking your truth, and I've experienced it in the past. This brought me back to the 2016 election, and back when my fire was so fueled and I was in those communities where I felt heard and valuable, and where I could express myself authentically. And I was, in women's studies classes and ethnic studies classes where other like-minded individuals could have discourses that were productive. And so I'm very grateful that I have that background. But I didn't realize how triggering it was, and didn't realize that I still had that stored in my body until yesterday, which was also a very hard day. I don't have the power to vote, so I just kind of have to watch it as an outsider, even though a lot of the policies and the rhetoric and everything that it has been spewed out does affect me, because first and foremost, I am a woman. I am an immigrant. I am first generation. I grew up low income. Like, there are a lot of intersecting identities that I hold, and there are a lot of people in my life that I love with other intersecting identities. And so, yeah, it was very triggering and scary, and I literally had a lot of mental breakdowns yesterday. Being back home has been very triggering. I forgot how red this city is, and how conservative, and just how different a lot of people think, because I've been in spaces with like-minded people for quite some time now. It has opened my eyes to how much hate and ignorance and negativity is still out there. I've had people ask me what my opinion is on all of this, and again, I know what I believe in, so spare me with the think pieces, but I am very vocal about where I stand and what I believe in, and that's always been me. And I'm not afraid to burn bridges if it's in regards to matters like this that really do matter to me. I will cut ties with anyone. And someone, basically, first thing I woke up to was someone in my DMs asking me if this is really what I believed. And I'll read it for you because I hate to entertain people, because I've spent so much time explaining myself and presenting facts and evidence, and I've just realized that there are some people that just don't care. There are some people that whose minds are never going to change, and there are certain things that you just cannot teach within people, like love and empathy. So I just have decided to kind of take a back seat and just understand that I am worthy and that I don't have to ask for permission to exist. And I spent so many hours advocating in the past, and getting in arguments with people, trying to prove to them that my humanity was worth it, that I'm not just an illegal alien, that I am a human being, that I have goals and dreams and aspirations just like everybody else. I posted this thing on my Instagram. I've been going crazy on my Instagram all day, but I just said, with all due disrespect, you have no morality. Unfollow me and unfollow yourself too while you're at it. We have nothing in common. I said everybody that voted for that racist effing can go F themselves. And I mean it. And I really do. And a lot of people were trying to say that, you're not an adult and that you are petty for cutting someone off out of your life over differences. But what I'm trying to express and get at is that it's not a difference in opinions. I can disagree with you about, whether Chinese food is good or not, or whether chocolate ice cream is better than vanilla. We can disagree on certain shit like that, but fundamental values, that's not something that I can disagree on. I shouldn't have to explain to you why a genocide and babies' heads being blown up is not okay. And I don't know how to teach you to have that empathy for people who may not look like you, who may come from different places than you. That's not something I can teach. But he said, you'd burn bridges with friends because of their political views. That's like saying I'm Catholic and everyone else can go die. No. I respect political differences, but this is more than a political difference. I can respect a Republican that has morals and values and that doesn't spew out hate and just so much racism, sexism, and just wants division. If you hear Republicans speaking from the past, they spoke with education and respect. But I've been saying this, Trump is a whole different devil. And he said, I'm not talking shit, FYI, just trying to see when you post another post on your story about how friends should love one another more. Who do you mean by friends? Only people that support your political views? So he's trying to insinuate that I only love, that I'm always preaching love, but then this time I decided to be divisive and hateful and not listen to the other side. And I saw this quote that kind of resonated with that, basically saying that, the people that say don't let politics ruin your relationships, that it's mostly people who have voted against your rights. And truth of the matter is, I don't feel comfortable around you. The person that you voted for is homophobic, racist, and hates women, and none of that was a deal breaker for you. It is personal. We have a difference in morals, and I do feel differently about you. You cannot tell someone you love them and then try to take their rights away. I don't care to associate with someone who does not believe in my humanity, in my rights. I see no common ground with you. I have taken all day to kind of gather my thoughts and have been writing about it. So I'm just going to read off what I've been writing because I think this best explains all of the emotions that I have felt basically all day. I really hope everyone's taking care of themselves, leaning on each other and their community. Know that it's not over. There are resources. You're not alone. And it's okay to grieve. It's okay to be mad. Okay to log off social media. It's okay to feel whatever you need to feel. But anyways, I wrote, I've had a few people ask me about my thoughts on the election. And although I have many, it's hard to gather them all and put them into a cohesive sentence. This election brought back trauma from 2016 that I did not know was there. I remember the 2016 election. I went to sleep early in the fear of the results. I was in college as a first-gen undocumented student. I was one of about 100 undocumented students on campus. I was living in the dorms as a resident assistant and woke up to students celebrating the win of someone who had promised to take away my rights. That was in 2016 when he was constantly threatening to get rid of DACA. I have DACA. I was studying ethnic studies and was heavily involved in community and advocacy work. I was passionate and loud and always spoke my truth. I spent hours debating and arguing with people as to why I deserved to be here, why my humanity mattered, until I realized that there are certain things, like morality and empathy, that cannot be taught. That there are people who are committed to misunderstanding me no matter what facts or evidence I would present them, and that some people are simply not good. People have always devalued my ethnic studies degree and told me it was a waste. However, this election reminded me why it was so important and fundamental as to how I navigate anything in this world. It taught me the importance of education, empathy, community, resistance, and the importance of using my voice. On education. This has taught me and reiterated the importance of education. How Trump and other politicians and elites benefit from our ignorance. How they benefit from division and hate. That's why they want to cut our education, strip our libraries, and censor our media. They want us divided and uneducated. They want us to see each other as enemies so we won't unite against them. They want to strip us of our history books because they know if we open them and expand our minds, we will see that history repeats itself, that our ancestors have been through this, and that the only way for change is to organize and resist, and to learn from our ancestors and what they went through, and to realize that our power is within us. There are lineages of people that have fought for us to be here, and that all of that is still within us. On community. I simply don't have the energy to continue to explain myself to people who just don't get it. Some people just don't care. Some people just don't have the empathy. Some people are just ruthless. Some people just don't possess compassion. Some people just aren't capable of understanding. Some people are just not good people. You don't need to love, associate, or value anyone who doesn't value, understand, and appreciate the same things as you. Sometimes you just need to see everything and everyone for who they are and let them be enough to choose yourself and what's best for you. I don't care to have people that misunderstand me, that don't show up for me, that don't value me, that aren't compassionate towards me in my life. And I shouldn't have to. If I'm seen as angry or bitter, I am. And that's okay. Because I have every reason to be anyone who is a minority, who is a person of color, who is underrepresented, has a reason to be upset. When I came out as undocumented, I was very afraid. Stepping into my power and showing up as my authentic self allowed others to find me. It brought me closer to people who saw themselves in me. It built a community of acceptance, love, and mutual understanding. When I came out as undocumented, other students who were also undocumented finally felt comfortable also sharing their story, and it allowed for us to be able to find each other and build community. We built a student org for undocumented students, and we held a lot of rallies explaining our stories, and were vocal about our struggles and did a lot of advocacy for immigrants. And it was all because we had that mutual understanding and respect for each other, and we were able to find other people that supported us. So many community members came together to show us love and support, and it was literally the most beautiful thing in the world. And it reminds me of how vital and how important it is to find those people and be in those spaces. I know that I have felt the most whole, the most heard, the most seen in spaces, like when I was at CSU in the ethnic studies program, like when I go to yoga at a Black owned studio that emphasizes health, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, all of that, and hold space for all identities. Those are the spaces that make me feel seen, heard, valued, and that make me want to continue on and share my truth and show me that I do have value, that I am worthy, and that I do have a purpose. This also reminded me of the poem Tu eres mi otro yo, which is what I say all the time. I always tell my little brother que él es mi otro yo because I see a lot of him in me. And this is a poem that we would recite at rallies, we would attend. A lot of community members and people that do the work have heard this before, but it is, you are my other me. If I do harm to you, I do harm to myself. If I love and respect you, I love and respect myself. And it's basically just emphasizing how intertwined and connected we truly are, and having mutual respect and love and understanding for other people means that you have love, respect, and understanding for yourself. I've been told that to be an adult is to respect others' opinions, and quite frankly, I'm tired of respectability politics. I'm tired of being told to sit down, shut up, and not take up space. I'm tired of being told I'm disrespectful for standing up for what I believe in. I'm tired of oppressive systems benefiting from my silence. I'm tired of being told not to get too political when my literal presence is political. I'm tired of being told we can disagree and still be friends, because we can't. And as James Baldwin said, we can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist. You don't believe in my humanity or my right to exist, then I don't have respect for you because you do not have respect for me. Shit like this is almost always said by someone who is unaffected, someone who has never feared having their rights taken away or played with every election. And the fact of the matter is that it is that serious. This has taught me the dangers of people pleasing or keeping certain people in my life out of trying to maintain the peace, whether it be family, friends, or whatever else. I'm protecting myself, and I'm protecting my peace, and I'm protecting my values, and I'm grateful that I'm away from a lot of people now and just in my own space and in my community. And I think everything happened for a reason, so that I came home and am finally back to relearning who it is that I am and what I believe in. And I've been meaning to get back into the advocacy space and using my degree. And it's made me realize that nothing's going to change unless I change myself and educate myself and continue to advocate and grow and help others and build community, because that's really, at the end of the day, what's going to save us is each other. A lot of these elites, a lot of these politicians simply do not care about us. I was listening to Kendrick and J. Cole and, people like that, because they are advocates and visionaries, and I love their music because it speaks on the truth and justice and all of that stuff. And the song Love Yours, which is literally one of my favorite songs from J. Cole, it's me and my little brother's song. He says, the good news is you came a long way. The bad news is you went the wrong way. For what's money without happiness, or hard times without the people you love? He just basically goes on to say, do something before you lose it for good. Get it back and use it for good. And touch the people how you did like before. I'm tired of living with demons because they're always inviting more. Think being broke was better. And it just reminded me of the fact that I have compromised myself in a lot of spaces and became a little bit more quiet to be more accepted, I guess. People think I'm too much, too loud, annoying, whatever it is, for speaking about injustices and what I believe in. Then they can simply unfollow. They can block me. They do not have to be in my life. They do not have to listen to my podcast. I've realized through all of the shit that I've been through this year that at the end of the day, the only people who are truly there for me are my family, my friends, and the community that I have built that actually has taken the time to see me, to hear me, to accept me, and to love me unconditionally and to advocate for me. And I'm blessed that I have such a beautiful community of people in my life. And I think for a long time I was focused on the people who didn't show up for me or who didn't love me, and was trying to please everyone else, when in reality I'm never going to make everyone happy. But what matters is staying true to myself, showing up as my authentic self, and continuing to use my voice and stand for what I believe in and do what I can to make a change. That's really what it comes down to. And I know that that's my purpose. And I don't know in what way God wants me to show it next, but I know that I have people that do listen to me and that do look forward to what I have to say and see themselves in me. So I know that this matters, and that's why I couldn't just stay quiet. I am allowed to and will continue to take up space. My voice does matter. I can make a change. God gave me a voice for a reason. We can use this to fuel us, to organize us, and to radicalize this, to demand a better future, to lean on each other, to support each other, and to build our communities. Liberation will not come from the courts of our colonizers, but from the strength and steadfastness of our resistance. We have to lean on each other, because at the end of the day, it's all we have. Another quote that I saw from Instagram, I'm literally a quote ass bitch, and I've said this from the start. I'm always sharing quotes, and I need to do a better job at remembering people's ads and including them on here, because I don't want to steal anyone's quotes or words or anything like that. When we have natural disasters, which more and more to come because of climate change, who's there to clean it up? Like Valencia just happened, like all of the hurricanes that just happened. Who comes together? It's the community, it's each other, and that's really all that matters. Like when the freezes happened in Texas, where was Ted Cruz? When these hurricanes just happened, when Hurricane Maria happened, where were the politicians? Where was the aid? They have money for wars though. When we feel alone or hopeless, when we need a meal, may we be reminded that we still have each other. Our ancestors fought for us to be here. The power is on our hands. We have been here before. I was telling people earlier, and thank you for everyone that's checked on me. And for my undocumented community, I know how scary and uncertain this can feel. But just remember that immigrants have always existed in this country, and we will continue to exist, and we will make a way. And we made it through his last presidency, and we will make it to another. I mourn the people who are going to be negatively impacted by any of his policies or anything that's to come for the next 4 years. We still have wars and genocides happening. And, you know, I'm grateful that we have our health, and so we need to continue to live and fight and persist. You are here today because generations and generations of ancestors didn't give up. It's understandable to feel like doing so. Grieve, and then let's radicalize you. The system was not built for us. It won't save us either. And as Audre Lorde said, the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. May we imagine a better future together on rage, anger, and respectability politics. I have been feeling angry for some time now. I was going to do a whole episode on anger a few months back and actually wrote a lot about it. I have it in my other notebook. Great book that I listened to during that time was Rage Becomes Her, The Power of Women's Anger. And it speaks on the dangers of keeping quiet and internalizing anger, and how we can use anger to propel us and motivate us to move forward. There is power in anger. Anger incites change. It allows us to imagine a better world and to call out systems of inequality and oppression. Setting boundaries and speaking out on what is wrong is a symbol of self-love and self-respect. Anger can be a catalyst for rebirth and renewal, and can fuel optimism. Feeling angry means that you care. I also saw this video that I also wanted to show, and I don't know if I can fully, I was trying to figure out a way to download it. And again, I don't want to take anyone's credit, especially Black women. So I'm just going to play the video for you so you can listen to what she has to say. It is LUVVIE on Instagram.
Don't let nobody make you placate your rage today. Don't let nobody convince you that this rage, anger, this deep, guttural sadness that you feel doesn't have space, because we're so often told to just think about the bright side. There is no bright side. Hope, we'll talk about hope tomorrow. But right now, all I have is rage. All I have is deep rage for this country that continues to show itself as who we've known it to be. All I have is deep rage for white women who lied to us, the patriarchy princesses who just cannot remove themselves from the chokehold that it has on them. All I have is rage for the Latina women. Today I will rage. We can talk about hope tomorrow and organizing tomorrow. But today I'm going to give the rage some space. I'm going to give the anger some space, because we need to let it out. Otherwise, it will continue to choke us. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let this country harm me and take my joy.
I'm not going to let this country harm me and take my joy. I'm not going to let these systems of oppression take my hope. I have faith, and I believe that something bigger and better is to come and can be created. And I feel like hope is really all that I have, and I'm grateful that I have my spirituality and that I'm in tune with astrology and all of that stuff, because I know that it's the end of an era and the age of Aquarius is coming. So a lot of structures are being shaken, and we're about to enter into a whole new level of consciousness. So I'm allowing myself to just feel what I need to and understand that change and different things are coming, and I just have to remain hopeful, because sometimes hope is all you have. But feeling hopeless is valid, but we cannot give up. We must continue to choose love, empathy, and a higher consciousness. We must learn to live together as brothers or perish as fools. And that's by Mar and the Stars on Instagram. Become the change you wish to see. Continue to learn, to take up space, to stand for what you believe in, and to envision a better future. Reclaim your strength, your power, your purpose. Every single one of us was put on this earth for a purpose. You matter. If you want the best for this world, then the best thing you can do is work on yourself. Nothing in this world will change if the people in it don't. History will just keep repeating itself over and over, no matter how much you try to outwardly fix. They want us to be sad and broken. They want us defeated and divided. Joy is resistance. Your voice is resistance. Art is resistance. Education and advocacy are resistance. Collaboration and love are resistance. Creating a beautiful life for yourself is resistance. Community is resistance. Do not give in to the system. You are worthy. You matter. You may not be able to change the world, but you can change your world and share it with those around you. As for myself, I commit to continue to learn, unlearn, grow, advocate for myself and others. I commit to continuing to stand up for what I believe in. I commit to continue having hope, love, and empathy. I commit to being teachable while still holding true to myself, my values, and my knowledge. I will stop playing small and remind myself that I am worthy of taking up space. I will continue to hold space for myself and others. Artists, this is your time to take all those big, complex feelings and pour them into your work. Show us what's possible, what's beautiful, what's worth believing in. We need you now more than ever. We will be okay, like we always have been. And as Toni Morrison said, this is precisely the time when artists go to work. There is no time for despair, no time for self-pity, no need for silence, no room for fear. We speak, we write, we do language. This is how civilizations heal. There is a new level of consciousness happening. There's a shift. We cannot give up and we cannot give in. And it's more important than ever to continue to educate yourself, to continue to advocate for yourself, to stand in your truth, to take up space, because they want us to play small, and right now is not the time, because the minority, the community is powerful, and the power is truly within us. And this has just reminded me how passionate I am about all of this, and kind of reignited a fire within me. And I really hope that other people feel the same, and also allow themselves to feel whatever they need to, because believe me that I definitely have taken the time to cry and to mourn and to doom scroll. But, you know, once you've taken the time that you need, I hope that it radicalizes you and moves you and continues to empower you to continue to learn and grow and to heal and to unlearn and to step in your power and to love and to extend empathy towards others and acceptance. And yeah, it's basically all I have to say for now. And again, spare me with the think pieces, but if you are struggling or just need someone to talk to, I'm always here. And like I said, I'm always posting quotes and stuff on Instagram. I encourage you to look into reading people like Toni Morrison and James Baldwin and Audre Lorde and Assata Shakur and all of the people and the radicals and the visionaries and everyone that's fought for us to be here now. A lot of people have put a lot of work into creating a new world for us and have held hope even through the worst of times. So we've been here before. Our ancestors have fought for us to be here, and yeah, you're worthy of being here. So yeah, that's basically all I have. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And until then, take care of yourselves. I love you. Listen to some good music, eat some comfort food, and do what you need to.